In gemology, the value of a diamond isn't just about how brightly it shines in the light. It's about its structural integrity. It's about how it handles pressure, and more importantly, how many microscopic flaws are hidden beneath the surface. To the naked eye, a fractured stone can look absolutely perfect, but when you put it under a jeweler's loupe, the ugly truth is magnified. I spent my life looking for flaws in precious stones. I just never thought to look for them in my marriage. My name is Arthur. I'm 38 years old, and I am a master jeweler and certified gemologist. I own a bespoke jeweler boutique where I design custom pieces for high net worth clients. 6 years ago, I married Clara. Clara was an aspiring luxury lifestyle blogger. She loved the finer things in life, and I loved providing them for her. For our 5th wedding anniversary, I wanted to give her a masterpiece. I spent over a year sourcing an internally flawless, D-color, 5-carat natural diamond. I spent weeks at my workbench, under a microscope, hand-forging a custom platinum setting. The ring was appraised and insured for $250,000. It was the crowning achievement of my career, and I gave it to the woman I loved. She cried when I slipped it on her finger. She loved the ring, but as I soon found out, she only loved the price tag.
Clara's blog started gaining traction, and she started attending elite networking events in the city. That's where she met Pierce. Pierce was a 40-year-old venture capitalist. He wore $100,000 Patek Philippe watches, drove a McLaren, and looked down on anyone who actually worked with their hands. He was exactly the kind of arrogant client I dealt with every day, the kind who equates money with class. Suddenly, Clara and Pierce were spending an inordinate amount of time together, doing brand collaborations. The red flags started sparkling like cheap cubic zirconia. First, the disrespect. Clara started openly criticizing my profession. "Arthur, you own a retail shop. You're essentially a merchant," she told me one night after a dinner with Pierce. "Pierce orchestrates global buyouts. He operates on a different level. You should think about scaling your mindset." Second, the secrecy. Clara stopped wearing her ring around the house, claiming she was terrified of scratching it, but she made sure to put it on every time she went to meet Pierce. Third, the insurance questions. Clara suddenly became very interested in our homeowner's insurance policy. She asked me specifically how long it takes for a payout to clear if a piece of scheduled jewelry is lost or stolen. I am a man who deals in absolute precision. When the angles don't line up, I investigate.
Clara had a habit of bringing her ring into my shop on Friday afternoons to use my professional ultrasonic cleaner so it would sparkle for her weekend events. One Friday, she came into the back room, took off her Apple Watch, placed her ring in the ultrasonic bath, and walked out to the street to grab a coffee. While she was gone, her Apple Watch lit up on my workbench. It was synced to her iPhone. A text message from Pierce appeared on the screen. I tapped the watch to read the thread. I didn't just find out my wife was sleeping with a venture capitalist. I found a blueprint for massive felony insurance fraud. Pierce wrote, "My guy in the Diamond District agreed to buy the loose stone for $150,000 cash, no questions asked. Are you ready for Chicago?" Clara replied, "Yes, we fly out next weekend. I'll walk down that dark alley near the restaurant. You grab my purse, pull the ring off my finger, and run. I'll call the police crying hysterically. Arthur's insurance pays out the full $250K to my account. We get the $150,000 from the black market, and we have $400K to start our new life. The jeweler will never know what hit him." I stood perfectly still in my quiet workshop.
The ultrasonic cleaner hummed softly in the background. My wife was planning to stage a violent mugging, steal the $250,000 masterpiece I built for her with my own hands, defraud my insurance company, and run away with a venture capitalist. They thought I was just a naive merchant. They were about to find out exactly what a master jeweler can do.
In the jewelry business, there is a synthetic stone called moissanite. To the naked, untrained eye, it sparkles exactly like a flawless diamond, but to a jeweler, it is practically worthless. I didn't panic. I looked at the ultrasonic cleaner. Clara's ring was sitting right there in the warm water. She would be back with her coffee in 10 minutes. I pulled the ring out. I put on my magnifying loupe. Using my specialized pliers, I expertly, gently bent back the 4 platinum prongs holding the $250,000 diamond in place. I popped the real diamond out of the setting and dropped it into a secure lockbox under my bench. I opened my drawer of synthetic display stones. I found a 5-carat moissanite that matched the exact dimensions and cut of her diamond. Retail value, $300. Working with the speed and precision of a surgeon, I seeded the $300 piece of glass into the platinum prongs. I tightened them, polished the metal, and dropped the ring back into the ultrasonic cleaner. When Clara walked back into the shop holding her latte, I pulled the ring out and handed it to her. "Perfectly clean, honey," I said, smiling. "It looks stunning on you." "Thanks, Arthur," she said, admiring the fake stone. "You really are the best." She walked out the door wearing a $300 piece of glass, fully believing she was carrying my financial ruin on her finger.
I didn't wait for her to go to Chicago. I immediately called the fraud investigation division of my insurance provider and my lawyer. I sat in a secure conference room and handed them the real $250,000 diamond. I also handed them the time-stamped photographs of the text messages from Clara's Apple Watch. My wife is planning to fake an armed robbery in Chicago next weekend to commit insurance fraud, I told the lead investigator. The stone she is currently wearing is a $300 moissanite replica I installed an hour ago. She intends to sell it on the black market. The investigator was absolutely thrilled. "Mr. Last Name," he said, "insurance fraud over $100,000 is a severe felony. Filing a false police report for armed robbery is a felony. We will notify the Chicago Police Department immediately. Let her file the claim." The next weekend, Clara kissed me goodbye. "I'm so excited for my girls' trip to Chicago," she lied perfectly. "I'll miss you." "Have a safe trip, Clara," I said. "Watch your surroundings."
At 11 p.m. on Saturday, I got the hysterical phone call. Arthur, please help me!" Clara was sobbing uncontrollably. "I was walking back to the hotel. A man with a knife attacked me. He took my purse. He ripped my ring right off my finger. The police are here. Oh my God, Clara, are you okay?" I acted perfectly panicked. "File the police report. I'll call the insurance company right now." She filed the police report, giving a detailed description of the terrifying mother. She filed the $250,000 insurance claim the very next morning. Meanwhile, Pierce took an early flight back to New York. He walked into the Diamond District, feeling like a criminal mastermind, to meet his shady broker connection. He proudly placed the stolen 5-carat diamond on the broker's desk, expecting a briefcase full of $150,000 in cash. The broker put on his loupe. He looked at the stone. Then, he pulled out an electronic diamond tester pen and pressed it against the surface. Beep, beep, beep. Red light. The broker looked up at Pierce, completely disgusted. "Are you insulting me?" The broker growled. "This is a moissanite. It's a synthetic piece of garbage. It's worth maybe $300. Get out of my office before I break your legs." Pierce absolutely panicked. He called Clara, screaming at her. Clara called me, completely unhinged. "Arthur, the diamond! Was there something wrong with the diamond?" she demanded, dropping her traumatized victim act entirely. "No, Clara," I said calmly, sitting in my workshop. "The diamond is perfectly flawless. It's sitting right here in front of me, next to the insurance fraud investigator and 2 Chicago police detectives. I swapped it for a fake while you were getting coffee." The dead silence on the line was the most beautiful sound I have ever heard. "They have the text messages, Clara," I continued. "They know Pierce was the mugger. The police are waiting for you in the lobby of your hotel."
The fallout was an absolute masterclass in self-destruction. Clara was arrested in the lobby of her Chicago hotel by plainclothes detectives. She was charged with felony insurance fraud and felony filing of a false police report. Pierce was arrested in New York for conspiracy to commit fraud and grand larceny. Because he was a prominent venture capitalist, his arrest made the financial news. His firm fired him immediately, citing the morals clause in his contract, completely destroying his lucrative career. When Pierce realized he was facing federal prison time, he instantly turned on Clara, claiming she manipulated him into doing it. Clara tried to blame Pierce. They turned into 2 rats fighting on a sinking ship. During our divorce, Clara had absolutely no leverage. She was a convicted felon facing massive legal bills. The judge awarded me 100% of our marital assets, the house and my entire business. I didn't have to pay her a single dime of alimony.
It's been 2 years since that weekend in Chicago. I took the real 5-carat diamond out of the lockbox, I melted down the platinum setting, and redesigned the stone into a breathtaking necklace. I sold it to a wealthy client for a massive profit and used the money to open a second, larger jewelry boutique in the city. My business has never been better. Last I heard, Clara served her probation and is now working as a cashier at a discount retail store. Her luxury influencer career died the moment her mugshot was posted online. Pierce is completely bankrupt, blacklisted from the financial industry, and drives a 10-year-old sedan instead of a McLaren. If there is a lesson to be learned here, it's this: never underestimate the person who knows how things are built. If your partner values the price tag of your love more than the love itself and tries to rob you blind, don't cause a scene. Take their ring, give them a piece of glass, and let them walk confidently into a room full of people who know exactly how to spot a fake. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed this one, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's the worst lie you've ever caught someone in? Stay sharp and always check the authenticity.